podcast. This is episode 14. And tonight we'll be talking about co-parenting, vaccinations, Kanye West and mental health issues, and also self-love. Now tonight, as always, we are joined by the Truuu Talk First Lady, Miss Chidi. Miss Chidi Bang Bang. Namaste. And man in his own introduction, Mr. Truuu Talk himself, Mr. Ashley. Gang, gang. Our very own Welsh princess, Miss Nadia. Our favourite lady from the small islands, Miss Cher.
Wow.
That's how they dance on the small islands. And of course, myself, DJ Sticky Fingers. And as I said, we're going to be talking, well, the first topic today is co-parenting, which Ashley's going to lead us on. Ashley, over to you.
So to start off, yeah, I was going to kind of link the two because I feel like it's a good topic to link co-parenting if we're talking about, because because we was having a discussion last week. It was brief in the chat, and we was talking about mothers having more influence and control over what happens to the child in a co-parenting situation. I think it was something that Will Smith was saying. I think someone mentioned an interview or a red table talk between Will Smith and his wife, not the entanglement one, but our next one, when they were basically discussing his first marriage and that he had little or no say in the raising of his first child because obviously he wasn't with the woman, and the woman basically decided that he wasn't going to be able to play a part or play a role in it. Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot to a lot of people, especially people from a certain background. So if you're from the roads, for instance, it's easy for it to happen to you because there's lots of things that the other individual can hold against you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, he does this, or he's been arrested for this, or you know what I'm saying? Which gives more reason for mums to have more say in the child's life. Sometimes it's necessary because some men are shitty, don't get me wrong. But if we're talking about vaccinations, because that's why I wanted to link the two, it shows how important it is for people or parents to have an understanding of what they want for their child, what they believe in, because it would be sad for me if I say, I don't want my daughter to be vaccinated, yeah? I don't trust vaccinations, you get me? I feel like it's going to damage them, or it's going to do this, or going to do that. And then my daughter's mum just decides, well, I don't care what you think, I'm for it, and I'm going to vaccinate my child. Do you get what I'm saying? In this world, most mums would probably have the power to do that. You get what I'm saying? In reality, you say no, but in reality, most mums do have the power to do that. No, you get what I'm saying? You ain't always going to go ask the dad if he agrees before you're going to do your thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is a scary thing, isn't it? For me as a man, because it means that, well, even if you're strongly against it, and you like, even if you've done your research, you know why you don't want your child to take it. Bro, if the mum decides that she wants the child to take it, it's going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just a little bit, I think the co-parenting thing I think it should start before you even have a child. So if you're with someone, you discuss co-parenting from then, like from when you're in a relationship with someone, from when you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the smart thing to do. You discuss what you would agree with, what kind of stuff you would have for your child, what kind of stuff you wouldn't have. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like those kind of conversations need to be had before the child even comes, because once the child's here, boy, like, it's too late after that. The fact of it is, as a man, the most you're going to be able to say is, I disagree with that. I wish you didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You should have told me first. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like co-parenting is a long discussion that needs to be had way before like children start even coming into play. Do you get what I'm saying? You need to know how you would raise your child, what kind of things you expect, what kind of things you don't expect. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people wait too long to start having those kind of discussions. Wait till it's too late to have them kind of discussions. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Can I ask a question on that? Sorry, go on, Nad, you go. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say I agree with what you just said, and I think it's a lot more difficult for fathers to have an input. And I suppose when you have a child together, you know, in the beginning, in the first instance, they're a baby. I suppose there's not many decisions to be made, is there? Because everything's just sort of predictable. You know, if the child's not talking, walking, or anything like that, obviously down to feeds, immunisations, like you said, injections, fair enough, then I would assume the most parents stay together then, or are together in the early stages. I think it's when they start going to school or start going out, and then obviously decisions are a lot more challenging then. And then obviously when the parents are separated, most of the time, the child stays with the mother. So I think it is really difficult for the father to have an input and have a say. So it's really important that, you know, the relationship, the friendship is still there, the respect, mutual understanding. Communication is key in this situation. Going back to the video that you mentioned as well, Ash, with Will Smith, he was saying that his father's advice was, don't do anything at all. Don't say anything, don't do anything. When your son is old enough, he'll come to you, he'll ask the guidance, he'll come to you. And that must have been the most difficult thing for him to have to swallow, difficult pill to swallow. Because as a parent, bringing a child into the world is the most amazing gift that anybody can have. And it is your given right and your duty to, you know, cherish the child, nurture the child and look after them. So decisions are crucial. I think it's worse, it's harder for the fathers, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't feel like fathers are very valued. I don't feel, in fact, I know fathers are not valued. I'm not going to say I don't think. I know for a fact they're not valued. Even down to how they're portrayed in film, TV, all these kind of things. A father is not something that people respect. It's like a joke, or it's kind of like something that's kind of like it's not really respected. It's not like a title that's held at like a high regard or a high standard. It's not like people are, there's not much pride behind it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't understand why, because for me, it's like probably it's the thing that's made me most proud. Do you know what I'm saying? Is to be a father. Do you know what I'm saying? But I noticed like society doesn't really rate the whole father thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's not as many rights for fathers as there are for mothers, and there's also not enough support groups either for fathers. There's a lot of support for women, but I think there's not as much support for fathers. And I think the financial aspect plays a really big part in that as well. So, you know, going to court, paying for court fees, you know, I think, this is just my opinion, but I think if you've got many talks and, you know, you've got a lot more power in that sense. But I think it's really difficult for men as well when it comes down to machoism and masculinity. You know, there's a crisis in masculinity there, because as a father, you feel powerless. You know, as a father, you're meant to be the strong role model that guides their son or their daughter to do certain things in life. And when, you know, the relationship is broken down and the parents, the child stays with the mother, it's really, really difficult. There's some really, you know, there's barriers in there for the fathers.
Yeah, but you know what? For me, I feel like if I stayed in the house where my daughter was and her mum was, I wouldn't be as good of a father today. I don't think. I think being separate and co-parenting or parenting by myself, in like independently parenting, made me way better as a father than I would have been parenting as a couple, or like, you know what I'm saying, in-house father. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm home with her, her mum is still doing everything for her while I'm there. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm just kind of looking, just playing the daddy's hero. Do you know what I'm saying? But when she's with me, I do everything for her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it allows me to build that bond with her, allows me to cook for her. And she said, oh, daddy, I like daddy's food. Or whose food's better? You get me? We can have them kind of conversations. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much, oh, mummy's here and then daddy's here. Do you know what I'm saying? So now it's just like, it's a competition. Not a competition like in a negative way, but I'm saying we both can do what each other can do. Like, there's no, in this situation when it comes to parenting, there's no gender role in it. We're just parents. Do you get what I'm saying? I can do the same thing she can do. I will do the same thing she can. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like in that aspect, it's helped to be separate because it's allowed men to focus on being a parent rather than being a father. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
there was a statement actually the will made, and it was, the child is the mother's child. And I thought, that is a really harsh comment to make, but I suppose in reality, you know, it makes sense because the parent, you know, like I just said, the mother seems to have much more control over the situation and more rights.
Yeah, I think I get that, because even me, I was my mother's child. Yeah, and my dad was there for me. Do you know what I'm saying? But I was my mother's child. Do you get what I'm saying? Why? Because I know that my dad's got children with other women. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's their mum. So I got, you know what I'm saying? I've got to rock with my mum. So if my dad goes and he's with my brother's mum or my sister's mum, I don't have the same, doesn't feel the same. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I get that concept of being your mother's child. You get me? Because you're the one who's here, you're the one who's seeing your. Remember, women are emotional, so it's not like mums hide their emotions from their kids. They definitely don't. Do you get what I'm saying? So as a kid, you're already having that sympathy for your mum, and you get what I'm saying. You're already looking at your mum and saying, "Oh, she needs protected." Do you get what I'm saying? When you're looking at your dad, you're not looking at, you don't have the same kind of compassion or sympathy for your dad. Your dad could be going through some shit because you would never even know. Dads don't cry to their kids. Dads don't complain to their kids. Dads don't show their emotions to their kids, because that's just something that we've been taught not to do, innit? So naturally, if we're upset about something, we're just gonna cut. We're just gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Whereas maybe mums don't have that space to be able to cut and be emotional away from their kids. That's probably what it is. Because anytime my mum was down, upset, or anything, man's seeing it because there's nowhere for her to go. You get what I'm saying? I'm knocking on the door like to ask her something. I can see mum's upset. You get what I'm saying? Where my dad's not here, so anytime I do go check him, he's gonna pretend he's good, regardless. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's a lot to do with it. Kids feel their mum's emotions when they feel what their mum's going through. They see what their mum's going through. The struggle is something that we go through together. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas dads, you don't really go through struggle with dad like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Dad just makes everything seem like he's kind of got under wraps or not. Do you get me?
So lots of valid points in there. I'm going to get the other two ladies involved. Chidi, Cher, what's your views on this one? Chidi, if we start with you, Chids, we'll go over to Cher.
Sorry, I fully could not unmute myself then. Yeah, I just think there's not enough. It's not equal when it comes to you know, men and women. Dads don't have that support system. It's almost like there's just like a natural support system for women, and it's non-existent for men really. I got a friend, and his partner, she left. Left him with 3 kids, and he was bringing those kids up on his own for like 8 years, and then she came back and wanted to be in the children's lives just after 8 years of just like disappearing, and everyone was saying to him, yeah, you got a letter because she's their mum. And it was like, hang on a minute, you left me to raise these children for 8 years by myself. I've been doing it, you know, he did such a good job, so amazing. But then everyone was saying to him, but you've got to allow their mother to be in their lives because she gave birth to them. But then, you know, when fathers leave and they try to come back or whatever, it's like, no, you can't let him see those kids because he left them. I just don't think the same values are not there. It's like women seem to get away with a lot of things. Like, I know even from my personal experiences, I never really asked like my daughter's dad any kind of permission or asked him what his views was on anything. I just did it because, you know, I was a bit younger and I was just like, well, your opinion is not valid. I'm her mother. I gave birth to her. So, you know, I've got the final decision. But then it's not when you're parenting, whether you're co-parenting or whether you're together, you have to sit down and talk about these things. You have to, I think it's, you know, it's an equal thing. They have to be balanced because there might be decisions that you make as a woman, if you're a woman, and the man doesn't like it. And you have to listen, you have to hear them out and find out why they don't like it. Because when you actually sit and talk and discuss certain things, you might think it might change your perception on things. And you think, yeah, like I didn't really think about it like that. So I think it's always good to you know, discuss whatever you're doing with the children, because at the end of the day, the children wouldn't be there. Whether, it doesn't matter how you feel about that person, that child didn't ask to, you know, be here. So as parents, you have to sit down and you have to kind of just work together to decide on what's best for the child, really. And I just think that a lot of women just take the matters into their own hands and just take it upon themselves to just do whatever they want to do. And that is because women have always been taught, well, you're the mother. If it wasn't for you, the child wouldn't be here. Women reproduce, but men reproduce also as well. Like, without a man, you can't make a child. So I just think it needs to be more equalised, really. Men don't really get a fair trial, do they, really?
Again, lots of stuff in there as well. Cher, what's your views on this one?
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, there's not enough respect when it comes to fathers. And I think the main reason for that is that there are a lot of single mothers who, you know, they don't have the choice whether they want to be, you know, a parent on their own. It's just happened, you know, and it's not a choice. But at the same time, that's not fair on the fathers who actually want to be in their child's life. You know what I mean? So I just think, I'm not a parent, so you guys probably have more knowledge than I do about all this. But I just think personally, if you make a child, just make a decision to be in that child's life and just to support them no matter what. And, you know, if you are a mother or a father, make sure that you involve the other parent. As long as they're not putting like the child at any harm or anything, then it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, that's it really.
Do you know what? Sorry, go on.
No,
Sorry.
go on. It's okay.
You go, ladies first.
I was just going to say, I can make a really valid point there. So my mum, my biological father is from UAE. He lives in Dubai. So my parents met here in Cardiff, made me, and then the relationship turned a little bit sour. My mum was living in UAE at the time because that's where my father worked. So my mum came back to the UK to sort of get away from the relationship and whatever else. So then my father came over to try and fight for custody of me. And the relationship was a little bit volatile. So my mum had, you know, lots of rights, even though my father was wealthy, my mum was she still had more rights, because I don't know whether it was because she was a British citizen or I was born here. I don't know the ins and outs exactly, but he lost all contact. So it was only about 5 years ago that we reunited and we got together again. So I felt a little bit upset that I missed out on a big part of my family heritage, you know, the relationship with my father. Even though I was brought up by my stepfather and he was absolutely amazing, and you know, he is my dad, I still feel as though I was a little bit cheated. Do you know what I mean? And my father feels exactly the same. He could have done more to fight for me, so that's, you know, that's something that he's going to live with for the rest of his life. But I think ultimately it does boil down to the children's choice. You know, you know, the voice of the child counts, matters. You know, but obviously when you're so young, I was 2, so I couldn't really have an opinion on the matter. It was down to my parents. But I just think ultimately the child is the one that gets caught up in all of this. You know, the decision making, the arguments, and you know, the breakdown in communication. It's a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. I think there should be more in place to support fathers. But then being a mum myself, being in a similar situation, I remember when my relationship broke down with the father of my children, and I was absolutely devastated and pining for my children when they would go with their dad on weekends, because it was a whole new experience for me, you know? So it's a catch-22, isn't it? I think I've always given their dads, you know, access whenever he wanted access to the children. And we've always discussed, even though the relationship's not great, we do try our best, and we do communicate in regards to sort of, say, like, you know, immunizations, school, haircuts, clothing, piercing, things like that. We do discuss. And I do take his opinion into account. But obviously I do know women where, you know, they just completely cut the dad out and they've got no choice, no hope at all.
There's a lot in there. I got two questions actually. I got a challenge for both yourself, Nadia, and Ashley, right? So, Nadia, it's not a challenge, it's more of a question. So you said about maybe children should have more rights in terms of, co-parenting. I think that could be a dangerous one because I know you said in your scenario you were two, so there was no rights, you had no choice, you didn't know anything, you didn't know your left elbow from your right elbow. But let's say the child is 12 now, and you're saying that maybe we should give children the right. I think it's dangerous because if the child lives with parent A, for example, they're going to be heavily influenced by what parent A does and says. And I'm sure we've all been in situations where we've heard parents speak badly about the other parent in front of the child or children. So leaving that choice to children, if you've already got a parent who's very dismissive or speaking foul of the opposite parent, it's a recipe for disaster almost, because then that child's going to always know, oh, if you say mum and dad, for example, oh, mum always said my dad's useless, or my dad is this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? And then that feeds into the child because it's yours around it. Or they might hear conversations where mum's on the phone to best friend. And friends always give you bad advice as it is, isn't it? He ain't shit, he this, that, and the other. And if I was you, I wouldn't do this and all that crap. And it's bullshit anyway because they were in that situation, they wouldn't do that, right? So that could be a bit tricky, that one. My other challenge, I think, was actually in terms of, Ashley was saying maybe we should do more before the baby comes, in terms of co-parenting, just more discussions about what you want to do. But my challenge almost is that if we're saying co-parenting before the baby arrives, it almost feels that we have no plans
Setting
of
yourself
having to
up for failure. Yeah, that's fantastic.
you're right.
I get that. But then, regardless, you still need to know how to be a parent by yourself. So it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't stay together forever, bro, you still need to know how to parent by yourself because no one lives forever, bro. So there might be a time where you're going to be a single parent, not because of choice, but because of circumstance. You feel me? So you still need to know what you want and how you are going to be and how you're going to move and how you're going to do things, and you need to discuss that. When I say co-parenting makes it seem like you're not together. The only reason why I say co-parenting is because it eliminates the mother-father gender roles. Because parenting means everyone can do everything for that child. You can do what mum can do. Obviously not breastfeeding when they're a baby, obviously. But I'm talking about co-parenting, meaning it's equal parenting. Do you get me? When someone's a co-owner, it means that they're equal owners. Co-parenting doesn't mean that you're single parents. It means that you're equally parenting. Do you get me?
I like that. Yeah. I like that I challenged you and I like that response back. I love it. This is what it's all about, man. That's what I'm here for.
Come on, my Jake.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, man.
I see your vision.
What you were saying, Steph, is really valid actually, because I can actually relate to that, because I used to worry when the children would go off if they were okay, if they'd been fed properly. It is really bad to say that I didn't have a lot of faith in the father of my children, but I had to just trust my gut and know, he had to learn for himself. Like Ashley said, he had to learn to do those things on his own, sadly, But I think obviously the situation is completely different now because my children are older, and I do give my children the freedom to make their own choices to a certain degree. So if their dad upsets them, and then, I've got a hormonal teenager now, a son who's 14, and there are times when he says, look, I don't want to see my dad this weekend. He's really upset me, or, and I allow him to have the freedom to make his own choices in that sense. But then obviously down to the younger ones, it's difficult, isn't it? Because they don't really know what's going on. I mean, my youngest one is 6 now, and he loves his dad. They all love their dad and they love spending time with him. But there are times when they say, I don't want to go this weekend, or I didn't like the food that he cooked. It is a difficult one. And I think unless you've got sort of legal grounds to go on, there's not a lot you can do really. And that all boils down to having money as well. And not a lot of people can afford to go down the route of court costs and set days, and do you know what I mean? And sleeping arrangements and things like that. So it is really difficult. And I think, unless you've got a good relationship where you can communicate with each other, it's set for fail, really, isn't it? It's not
You,
easy.
you know, my thing on that though is I honestly believe, right? I know things happen in relationships and with parents. Like you said, your dad lived overseas and your mum was in Cardiff. So to even have a relationship there it's damn near impossible when it's so difficult, so far away, right? But I honestly believe this. I know it's a bit naive. If you bring a child into this world or children into this world, it's just your flipping responsibility to look after them. I don't care if you're together or not. I don't care about if you want to talk to one another or not. You like one another. You don't. I couldn't care less, to be honest, because it's no longer about you. It's not about your feelings. It's not about what you want or what you like or you dislike or what your friend says and whatever, blah, 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 what man you want to date on a Friday and go church on Sunday. I don't care. It doesn't matter, innit? It's just about, we need to make sure that we come together and we make sure we do what's right for the children. So if it's a case of child stays with one parent one weekend, the other parent, okay, fine. Or it comes to school and it's a parents' evening. No, you both got to be there. Do you know what I mean? Because it can't be that I'm not going to go because I don't get on with the mum or the dad. No, I don't want to hear that bullshit. Your parent, your responsibility is the child. It's that simple.
I missed out on some amazing holidays, you know. My father was really well off, you know, that my siblings that live over there, so obviously they've got a different mother, they've had, you know, a great life, they've had some great holidays and things like that. And I do feel a little bit robbed that I didn't have a relationship with them also. So we've had the discussion, I've had the discussion with my mum, and I completely understand her point. She was trying to protect me, and she was obviously very insecure as well. She thought, you might take me and then never bring me back. So it was a very difficult decision for her to make, which, you know, I completely respect her decision. And obviously times are different now as well. So, I mean, the way I communicate with my family now is through what's called video calls, you know, and technology. So years ago, we didn't have that access, did we? It was, you know, it was either landline telephone call or a letter. So it was very difficult in comparison to now, where, you know.
Wait. How old are you? Talk about letters. Wait. Hang on. Letters.
I'm 38.
Letters. This is. I know that's what they do in the small islands. They still send letters to one another, okay, and postcards, right? But no. Not in. Nah. I'm not having that.
That's how it goes, stick, unfortunately.
I think a good dad, like you said, will just allow the mum to do what they're doing until the dude's big enough to make their own decisions. Otherwise, you're going to be warring the woman. She's going to suffer because man can't lose. See me, I can't lose, bro. Yeah, I can't lose, bro. Like, and this is with anything. So when man up like anything, bro, like mentally, you can't beat me, bro. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think you do. I don't care what you think you be. I don't care how calculated you think you are. No one's more calculated than me. I promise you. Yeah, so this is why I do not go to war with people. This is why I do not accept negativity. This is why I don't buy into conflict, because you won't win against me. Yeah, that's
flip reverse that, Ash. I see now from a mother's point of view. I couldn't walk away from my child and allow my child to just grow up with their father and then see me.
But we don't have a choice, though. This is what I'm saying. Because it's easy to say, how can you walk away from your child? But then if I mash you down now and make you turn crazy, you're going to say, how can you do that to the mother of your child? And if I cut out and I don't talk to the mother of my child, but then I butt in there, why did you do that? There's nothing that we can't win. Regardless of what we do, people are going to say, why did you do that? You should have done this. Yeah, any man that I've seen, and I like to use the good men in my life as examples. Not that I'm gonna talk man's business, but man have inspired me and taught me a lot just by their actions. So, for instance, one of my family members, when he was young, he got taken away by his mum to live somewhere else. You get me? Like to live in a whole other country. I'm sure for his dad that was fucking heartbreaking, fam. Even for man, it was heartbreaking. I'm like, right, it's cutting, like for real, to go live in a whole other country. You know what I'm saying? It was sad. But for his dad, imagine how that felt. Yeah. But what's he gonna do now? What's he gonna do? Fight the mum and prevent the mum from going to work her job, the good job that she got overseas, and tell her, no, you can't take my youth. And then now he's gonna have to struggle and be with his wife, and then raise his youth, who's not her youth, with his two other youths who are her kids. And do you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have worked. But boom, now my man's back here. He's got a great relationship with his dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in the end, he still won, man. Regardless of what it felt like at the time, Yeah, at the time, he probably thought, oh, I can war this woman. I can match down everything how I feel in my heart about my youth going away. But he didn't. He did what he was supposed to do. He humbled. You get me? He took his time. He let it happen. He maintained relationship. He maintained communication. And then now, the love is still there because love don't change. It's only actions that will fuck up the love. And if he had reacted to how he felt emotionally, maybe the love would have changed. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe me and him wouldn't have been so close as we are now. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes as a man, when you're faced with them kind of things, you just have to chill out, fam, and just let it be. If you can't control it, let it be, fam. There's not everything you can fight against, not everything you can stop, especially when it comes to a woman and a child. There's not much you can do. And if you want to have a say at any point, you better stay humble, bro. You get me?
Yeah, I'm gonna change you on that one in a second. I want to hear from Cher though, because I know Cher is just quietly eating her food. She hasn't even offered us any. She hasn't told us what she's eating. So Cher, what's your views?
Yeah, so I mean, this topic is quite a deep one to me because I have my own personal experience, which I don't really want to go into because it's a bit too deep. But yeah, I just feel like the way people parent and choose to be in their child's life can have an impact on their life in a big way, like more than they realize. So I just think it's important for people to actually know how to be a parent before they be a parent. I know it's more easily said than done because, you know, a lot of people are having kids, but just know how to be a parent before you go down that road because it can impact the child's life in a big way if the child's not allowed to see that one of the parents, or if one of the parents has done something bad and they're not allowed to see them because of that reason. So I just think it's important for the dad and the mom to like, because it really makes a big difference. But big up to the single moms and single dads though at the same time.
All right, cool. So Cher's eating her yogurt and saying big up to single moms and single dads. Chidi, you're very quiet today. Chids, tell us what you're thinking and what's your views.
You do not want to know what I'm thinking. Like my mind is strange. It's long because it just depends on there's different types of people in the world, isn't it? You've got your mums that want to be mums, and you know, even if they don't want to be mums, if they have children, they just naturally evolve and take to it because women are natural nurturers, isn't it? But not always. And then you've also got dads who, you know, want to be dads, or even if they didn't want to be a dad, they'll still accept the situation and be the best dad that they can be. But then you've also got dads who don't want to be dads. You get me? Like, trying not to go into my own personal situation, but sometimes I think you have to use your own kind of things to make things relevant. But my daughter, she's 12 in September, and the last time she saw her dad was when she was 2. And even though his family are brilliant and we've got the relationship there, it's just that, you know, for me, it's just like when she gets older, or as she gets older, she's gonna want to know why, innit? And he's gonna have to come face to face with her one day and explain why. And people have never really got a valid reason, or if they've got a reason, they'll say, "Oh, your mum did this," or "Your dad did that," and I just don't think that there's no excuses. Whether you've chosen to be a parent or not, you should naturally fall into that role. You should want to. Do you get me? I never planned to have my daughter. I'm still getting over it 12 years later. But it was the most beautiful experience of my life bringing her into the world, and it's the thing that I would never change. It's the thing that made me, do you get me? And it's everything that I live for. Having a child, it just totally changes you, and I fell into that naturally. But I think, like, you know, my daughter's dad, he's got an older son. He lives in America, and that we talk to him. I always make sure that my daughter knows that you know, who her brother is and everything. But they're both their question is why? Why is my dad not present? Or why did he leave? Or who is he? You know, they become inquisitive. They want to know. It's almost like a part of them's missing, you know? And even for my daughter, I think it's a little bit different because she's her own person anyway. And she's way older than her years in her head anyway, so she kind of understands. But at the same time, she's going to have questions later on. So I think if you make that choice from the time you make the choice to have unprotected sex with somebody and a child comes into play, then you really need to lean into that and kind of check yourself as a person and say, do you know what? I might not be perfect, I might not be X, Y, Z, but I'm going to just try and do my best and do right by this child. It's so easy for, you know, they say it's not easy for women to walk away, but I've known so many women to walk away from their children, you know. It's quite common. It's mad. I just don't know how they do it, and I don't know how dads do it as well. Like, why would you want to miss out on somebody's growth, somebody you brought into the world, and you're missing out on their growth. And by the time you get to connect with them, you're not going to know who they are. You've got to learn like a whole person from the beginning. And I just don't think sometimes it works, but I just don't think it really works. You get me? Because there's always going to be a resentment there from the child. Then the child's going to start questioning the mum, and it's just all mad. It's actually mad. So I just think when it comes to parenting, you need to just allow your differences and just do what you both need to do in order to be good parents, and just fix up. Really, it's about growth. It's about elevation. If you're not there, like, the one thing I do respect about my daughter's father is the fact that he knows he's a waste man, innit, when it comes to parenting and stuff. So my guy's just chosen to stay away, and I rate him for that. Do you get me? Because the relationship I got with my daughter and the little bond that we have and what we do in our routine is absolutely amazing. And I know for a fact if he was in her life, I wouldn't have that. But then at the same time, I do look at her sometimes and think like, bro, you're missing out. She's an amazing child and you don't know her. And even when you do connect with her again, still not going to know her. Never not like I do. You've missed out on all that time. So there's one thing you can't get back is time. So I just think we just need to do better as human beings in that aspect.
I totally agree. And I like the part where you said that, you know, it's been 12 years. I was thinking, right, is it 12 years a slave or something with your little one? Is she causing you that much stress? But, you know, but she made a point, right? She said we should probably try to learn to be parents before we're parents, which I think is quite hard to do. So it's almost very, very much easier said than done, right? However, we all know how to be good people, innit? Like, you may not know how to be a parent, because I'm sure all the parents that are on here, they were learning things every day, weren't sure what to do, you know, how to do it. If this is right, is it wrong? Am I making a mistake? Am I not? Is the child okay? Is the child breathing? You know what I mean? All those sort of things. But you need to be all right. You need to be a good person. So I don't take any excuse. I hate any excuse that I hear from parents who are not in their child's life. I know what actually you were saying when Tate said that the mum took the child to another country. That's slightly different, because that's, you know, it's not, so you can't just jump on a train. That's planning in it. It's weeks. It's a lot of logistics in that. But I would still expect some effort to go and see the child, or have an agreement with the parent to say, right, well, summer holidays, Christmas holidays, you know, obviously not disrupting the child's schooling, but there's times when we need to make sure that we have that connection. So I hate when I hear parents, even own family members, that are not in their children's lives. I'm like, why would you not be? As Chidi said, you're not seeing this child grow up. Do you know what I mean? So it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one, but I don't know. What, Nadia, Ashley, you're back. What's your views?
Yeah, my thing is this, yeah. Obviously, there's levels to it. Some people don't even take care of themselves, innit? Yeah. So if someone don't take care of themselves, you're not going to really expect them or want them to be taking care of you, yeah? Which is fair, you know what I'm saying? But it's always good to give, like, because I get that mums are like, they're the first line and last line of defense when it comes to their child, innit? So I understand why mums will make a decision certain times and say, bro, like, I don't want him to be in my child's life. But what I would say is always give them a chance, you know what I'm saying? Because it's really, because it's not like a God-given right that you lot have just been born with this power. You get me? It's just something you know I've acquired because of how society is. So society is giving you this power because of how things have been in the past, yeah, which is fair because I'd rather have my mum have the control than have a man that doesn't really care about me have the control. Do you get what I mean? So I understand why it's like that, but because you've been given such a unfair advantage, you get me? You should be compassionate in the sense of allowing my man to at least prove you wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like I've seen it a lot where man don't even get the opportunity to be in their youth's life. Man don't even get an opportunity to see their kids or be part of their kids' life. And they're good people. They probably would be good dads if they had the chance. But a lot of men don't have the chance. But on the other hand, a lot of men have kids and they don't do shit for them. You get me? A lot of men have kids, they don't care about their kids. They don't love their kids. They don't care if their kids are alive. They don't care if their kids eating. They don't care nothing. And that's the facts. So I do think that women should have that power, because some men are waste man for real and they don't care about their youths. I know men that have youths and, you get me, will say, I don't claim my youth with their chest, boy. You feel me? I can't get down like that. I can't get down like that. My mum wouldn't allow it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get me? My mum will claim a youth, that's not mine. You feel me? Like, you get me? That's like how my mum will say, yeah, no, like, that's his youth. That's his youth. You get me? They got the same skin tone or whatever. She'll find anything to be like, yeah, that's his youth. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I've never grown up with a mentality to think, if a girl comes to me and says, this is my child, and I believe it, or it's a possibility, I'm not going to, like, do you get what I'm saying? I'm not going to be one of them people that, fuck that, man. I'll always give her the benefit of the doubt. Or maybe go get a DNA test if I don't feel like it's my youth, whatever. But I would definitely always make a conscious effort to be part of my child's life in any capacity, in every capacity. You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's completely wrong.
Sorry, now go on.
Go on, Chip. No, I was just going to say, the sad situation is that people use their children as a weapon in both aspects, mothers and fathers. Go on, Chip.
Yeah, it's dread, and that's like another thing back to what Ashley was just saying, like about his mother would never have it. Like my daughter's dad, like God rest, my daughter's dad, his mum, she passed away now. God rest her soul in that, and yeah. But she was like, you know, I remember she contacted me at one time and she said to me, you don't let him, you're not allowing him to see his daughter, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, those words have never left my mouth. I've never said to you, you're not seeing your daughter. I've never said it. I've given you every opportunity, ample opportunity. I've told you I will bring her to you. I will meet you if it's about money. You get me? I will subsidize the whole thing if that's what you need or whatever. But because he was just playing a certain way and because he didn't have the correct woman in my eyes nurturing him, like her answer to me was, well, you shouldn't have had her anyway. Like, do you get me? So she actually said that. She actually turned around and said you should have never have had her. And I was like, but Ross, she's here now, innit? So fucking hell, sorry, I can't push her back up my vagina. Do you get me? She's 2. It's not gonna happen. So it was like, from when she said that to me, I just knew I had to make a conscious decision as a woman and think to myself, this guy's not going to be in my child's life. He's not going to be consistent. And I just had to accept it for what it was. And it was, you know, there's only so many chances you can actually give a person. And when it comes to, as a mother, when it comes to my child, nobody is playing with my child. You're not playing with her heart. You're not playing with her mind. You're not fucking up her life in that way. Do you get me? So where I always say, like, people say to me, yeah, but you know, how are you so calm? He doesn't bother with, and I said, because he actually did right by her, because he knew that he couldn't be consistent. He knew that he couldn't give her the things that she needs from a dad. So my man just cut, innit? He's just gone or whatever. But he's created something so beautiful between, yes, I am a man, dad, and whatever. I'm not, you know, I don't know, I can't be a man, I can't do those things, but I know what I give my daughter, and I'm doing my best. You get me? But like, I know that one day she's got questions that she's gonna need answering. But I've just, like, to not set her up for anything, I've just said what will be. If you come into contact with him, which she will, I definitely think she will, but I've just taught her how to be calm, and I don't badmouth like her dad to her. I don't say, I tell her, like I said, at the end of the day, you were made out of love, innit? At one point, he was the person I was with, and we made you, and that's how I give it to her. I don't run him or nothing. But he is a waste man, evidently. Do you get me? She knows that. But I don't need to voice it. Children know. They see what they see. She knows who's been consistent in her life. She knows who she's with, innit? And it's not because I've said, you're not seeing your child. It was just that, you know, she's just a victim of circumstance, really, innit? But I just choose not to make her a victim because she's loved regardless. So I just think men and women who just duck out on their kids, they're weird. Absolutely weird.
Do you know, actually, I think you hit a really good word there about being consistent and people being inconsistent. And I think one of the things that comes to kids, consistency is key. And like you're saying that him not being around was, in some sense, is a positive thing because he was inconsistent, and no child needs inconsistency, but then children still need their parents, innit? And it's an unfortunate situation to be in. Obviously, it's not one created by yourself. Hopefully, he sees this, you know, podcast and says to himself, you know what, right, I've let 12 years go past, but I won't let the next 12 years go past. You know what I mean? Hopefully.
Now we can fuck off.
They do say that men mature later on, though, and sometimes it takes a sense of maturity. You know, there are some circumstances that I've seen where it's taken the man a long time to grow up and face up to his responsibility of being a parent, and then sometimes, like you said, it's too little, too late.
Well, I don't care how young you are as a man. If you're old enough to, you know, do the deed, you're mature enough to look after the child. Yeah? I don't want to hear about these times to mature, or men mature later than women, blah blah. No, forget that. Look, you may not have to change an nappy or wipe at the bum, yeah, but you learn, innit? You learn, innit? It's true. You learn. You try it the first day, you get it wrong, the nappy will fall off. You know, you try it again. 2 hours later, it will fall off again. You try to put the Sudor cream on, or Sudor creme, whatever it's called. You'll get it wrong. Pee in your face, all of that. But after a while, you'll get the hang of it. Like anything, innit? Practice makes better.
And this is what did my head in with him as well, because he's such a nurturer. Do you get me? He was a mummy's boy, so he knew all those things. He was brilliant when he was with Anima. Do you get me? I was the one who was going to work and everything, and he was taking care of her. He was amazing at those things. So that's when he let himself down, because, you know, if he gave himself the chance, he would be an amazing dad. But because he's just a waste man, he can't do that. So it's easier for him to just walk away in it. But thank you, bro. If you're watching it, thank you. Marlon Smith, you amazing guy.
He's lost out. I tell you what, Chid, he's lost out.
No,
your game.
When she did come into contact with him, he's fucked, really.
It's crazy though, because the picture, you know, my mum painted a picture of my father as being this really bad guy. And when I actually met him face to face and we spent some quality time together, he was just this gentle giant, and he was completely different to what my perception was. And, you know, he's not the best when it comes to communicating, but he does message me every single day, you know, even if it's just a good morning and I hope you're well, and sends lots of love, sends me money, gifts, you know, things. So he's obviously trying to overcompensate for the years that he's missed out. And I do think he could have done more to fight to be my father, but obviously he was caught up in a bit of a situation where he had another family, distance, you know. But like Sticky said, there's no excuse. You know, if you're big enough to go lay down with a woman and make a child, then you need to step up to your responsibility and be a parent.
Exactly. You know, you said that he's you know, when you met him, he was a cool guy and stuff, which is cool. I know that he is, but remember that was 30 plus years ago when the scenario happened or situation happened. So he may not have been the same person he is now. That's 30 years entire lifetime. Do you know what I mean? You die from prison for less time. So
exactly.
Who's to say what he was like 30 years ago? Do you know what I mean? Guys, before I continue, it's almost been an hour actually, and I've got to stop the live in a moment. Can you imagine we've been on this same topic for almost 1 hour?
Yeah.
It's deep though. It's a deep topic, isn't it? It's important. As I think actually you made a good point actually when you said if you're a co-owner, it doesn't mean you're separate. Same like with co-parenting. I mean, that's a very, very valid point. And I think Cher's gone somewhere. Cher's like I think she's on the phone. She was eating a yogurt, strawberry flavored yogurt. Then she froze, but now she's back. You see, I'm telling you, these people from the small islands, they don't have good internet connection or no Wi-Fi. Honestly, guys, let me just quickly pause the live. Yeah? Give me 1 second, then we go on to the next topic. Yeah, is that cool? Yeah. Put your middle finger down. Put your middle finger down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 1 second. Oh, actually, should we just start now? Should we just continue the topic? Should we just continue the topic? Because I think the next topic was Kanye West, right?
Yeah. Mental health.
So wait, I think on that one, I think Cher should take that one because Cher the one that posted about Kanye West and his outbreak during the week. Cher, let us know what's happening. You tell us what's going on with Kanye.
So we don't know about Kanye. He's been a bit outspoken for a long time. Yeah. And, you know, obviously he had like bipolar as well along the way. But I feel like a lot of people are kind of taking the piss out of him. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with a lot of the things that this guy says, but I don't know, I feel like the fact that he does suffer from mental health, people should be a bit, you know, more sensitive towards him because, you know, I feel like he's got two sides to his personality. He's a Gemini as well, so it goes hand in hand. But yeah, he's got two sides to his personality, and I feel like one side is him being kind of egotistical and, you know, wanting to be president and, you know, just making stupid remarks a lot of the time. And another side of him is kind of wanting to set himself free from everything. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen any of his posts or tweets or whatever, but he was literally going in on Kim and her mum, basically. He was going in on them hard, like basically saying that, you know, they're trying to tear him apart, basically. They're trying to tear him apart. They're doing things that he said that he doesn't want them to do, and they've done it. And, you know, he said he's been trying to get a divorce from Kim for a long time. That's what he said. And I don't know, I just feel like there's something weird going on, and I feel like he's trying to escape the corruption of the system, but at the same time, he's going the wrong way about it because, you know, he's running for president, he's supporting Trump, all that kind of shit. It's just like, build your own stuff. Like, he's already got his own stuff, but if you want to do something, you know, political-wise, build your own political movement. You don't need to go with you don't need to go and support Donald Trump and be the president. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he's a bit brainwashed, but at the same time, you know, he sees what's going on another side as well. So, yeah, that's my view on it. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, for me, I've watched a lot of different things from Kanye. I watched a couple different interviews, things from the past. So one interview he did with, I can't remember the man's name, but he's a big interviewer. He does like a big stage show where he one-on-one interviews people and stuff. Yeah. I think a lot of the things Kanye says come from a place of fear, but I think he's trying to tell his truth at the same time. I just think some people communicate in ways that people find it hard to grasp. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you've got to read between the lines with a lot of things people say. You know what I'm saying? especially when people got bipolar or they're manic or they're grandiose or anything like that, yeah, it's not like everything they're saying is made up or everything they're saying comes from their imagination. A lot of the time, it stems from somewhere. They just don't know how to express it in a way that other people can grasp. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think Kanye's got a lot. He knows a lot. He's got a lot of information about a lot of things, especially in that industry. You get me? Them man, they made clothes that can rival Gucci and Prada and all of these high fashion designers. Like, he's the first rapper to ever do that. Rappers been making clothes for years. Do you get what I'm saying? Or putting their name on products and endorsing it. But them man, they went and got a doctorate in fashion and bust his fashion label big like Gucci. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the things that he does are genius things, isn't it? Yeah, and it was something that he said in it. It was something that he said in it. Kind of gave me it didn't blow my mind, but it made me think differently. So he said, if someone is at the highest level in physical sport, yeah, they have lots of things in order to maintain their body, yeah. So if you're a football player, you'll get ice baths, you'll get physiotherapy, you'll get massages, you'll get all of these different things to keep your body at its prime, yeah, at its best performance level, yeah. He was saying, right, like, I play a mental game that's the equivalent to playing football or playing a major sport, yeah, but I don't do it physically, I do it mentally. Like, he's like, bro, I'm running $1 million businesses, I'm writing music, I'm creating albums, I'm managing artists, you get me, I'm doing this, I'm just fucking with designs, there's so much things I'm doing mentally, yeah, that I need to have the same things that physical athletes have to maintain their body. I'm a mental athlete. Why is it not okay for me to sprain my brain when my brain works at a level that's higher than you could understand? Do you get what I'm saying? How can I not have a brain injury or be tired mentally when my brain capacity is bigger than anything you can fathom? Do you get what I'm saying? And it is, because them man, they're achieving greatness. Them man, they got a full wave of a genius, and he really does stuff bigger than what people like see it for. Do you get what I'm saying? People think it's easy to be a superstar, or to write amazing music, or to compose amazing music, or to design amazing clothes, or to create a business, or to manage artists, or to have a record label, or to have all these things. People think it's just you just wake up in the morning and just gets done. Brother, come on. So he said it himself. He's like, bro, I play this mental game at the highest level. Of course I'm going to be sick sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying? And I kind of understood that.
Trids, what are you saying? What's your views on this one?
I got a lot of empathy for Kanye because he's a Gemini, and I get it. Trust me, I get it. It is hard. It's like, especially when you're playing a mental sport, and it's like people, especially with people with bipolar as well, no one's ever going to understand you. So I feel sorry for him. He's a Gemini. He's got bipolar. He's around the Kardashians. He's kind of fucked, really, isn't it? But at the same time, I think the guy's a genius. He's an absolute genius because he knows what he's doing. But then I suppose when it comes to the mental health side of things, I think it gets a little bit out of hand in regards to what he's saying. But if you actually listen to him, and you listen really hard, like I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they were like, how could he say that about Harriet Tubman, blah, 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 blah. But then if you do research on Harriet Tubman, it all comes up, like, you know, not exactly what he was saying, but words to that effect. So it's not that he hasn't said it from nowhere. He's obviously done that research, but he's just speaking on it, innit? And because a lot of people, you know, especially from that era and what they're known for, it's like they can't do no wrong. There was no mistake. Because they were activists and because they spoke about, you know, freeing slaves and they helped free slaves and whatever. But how do we 100% know that Harriet Tubman played that part? Like, she could have sold people out. Do you get me? She could have done, because if you actually dig into history and find out certain things, you find out a lot of them did. So I think a lot of people are not actually, they're not reading between the lines to what he's saying. I think in regards to him being so close to Donald Trump, who is also a Gemini as well, but he's a psycho. I think he's being clever. I think he's being very, very, very clever. I can't fully explain it because I'm a Gemini myself and it just sounds nuts when I say it. But I just think he's being very, very, very clever. And people actually need to hear him out. He does need a bit of help though, when it comes to because his mind, the guy, he is an absolute genius. And I think it's, when you've got that level of intelligence and you're that smart, yeah, it's gonna affect you. So I think a lot of people need to have a little bit more empathy for him and actually listen to what he's saying. Part of it's a cry for help, I think a part of it, he's trying to let us know certain things and he's trying to make people aware of a lot of the things that don't get spoken about. But then at the same time, I don't think he's a bad person. It's not coming from a place of hate. It's not coming from a bad place. He's just conflicted. And like I said, I'm a Gemini, so I can totally relate. Geminis get a lot of bad rep, but we're very smart and intelligent people. And sometimes when we say things, the way we communicate, I always say to people, when I meet people, I say, please don't watch how I explain things, because sometimes it just doesn't make sense at all. I know what I mean in my mind, because we've got so much going on. I know exactly what I mean, but when it comes out verbally, it doesn't match. You get me? So it's like, he does need that professional help where somebody actually needs to get into his head and learn about his mindset and his thought process, because it's crazy. He's probably got 1,000,001 things going on, and it's like, and it gets distorted and it just comes out in mad public outbursts and and whatever, and then it's the next thing, it's all over the news and the man's being misunderstood. So I just think I feel sorry for Kanye, man. I got love for Kanye. I don't care.
There's a whole load in there. And again, a lot of stuff about Geminis. And clearly, guys, we can't trust Geminis, as you can hear, because Donald Trump's a Gemini. Nadia, what's your views on that?
To be honest, I'm not too much of a celebrity. I don't follow the celebrity culture, believe it or not. As being a singer, I try not to be honest. I limit my time on social media. But I did see something about Kanye having a bit of a meltdown and a breakdown when his mother passed away. And that's when I think things started to spiral out of control and his mental health deteriorated. And I've got a lot of empathy for him as well. I just think it must be really difficult because you have to maintain that level of the celebrity status, being in the public eye. I think it must be really difficult. And also down to the financial aspect as well. They have to keep it ticking over. He is absolutely amazing. He is a genius. Like Ashley said, he's an entrepreneur. He's got so many different talents and skills. He's done amazing for himself. But I think it's really sad that people worship these celebrities and hang on to their every word. I think it's really, really sad because, like you said, Chid, sometimes things are not delivered correctly and it doesn't always come across the right way. And being in the public eye, I wouldn't want to be in that position, to be honest. That's the one thing that put me off making it as a famous singer. I would have hung myself years ago. So I take my hat off to him, but I do empathise with him as well, because it must be really difficult, going through what he's going through. There was something that I saw the other day where he made a really, he talked about going back to slavery days and the information was inaccurate. And it was a big, it was really controversial and everybody was sort of arguing and, cussing Kanye West for his outburst and the information that he delivered was incorrect. So I think he should know better in that sense, because even though he has got mental health issues, I still think, he's sensible. He should be sensible enough to know that if you're going to deliver this kind of information, you need to do your research and you need to make sure it's accurate before you do that, because it's just going to cause so much. But then it gets the likes, it gets the views, it makes more money. So it could even be set up, just to get more, like the thing with, what was the singer's name? I can't remember her name now. He outed the singer, didn't he, years ago, and he sort of made a public display about this. I can't remember her name now. but anyway, they kind of said that it was staged for her benefit as well, to sort of climb the ladder in the celebrity culture. So I think a lot of it is set up and staged, in my opinion.
I don't think it's set up. I think, yeah, well, it might be set up. But the reason why I would say this is because if you know about Kanye West, yeah, you would understand why people take everything he says so literally. Because them man there was like, he was like a real conscious rapper. Them man there was teaching man stuff. Them man there was giving man game. Like, Kanye was one of the most influential rappers of his time. You get what I'm saying? Like, when he came out with the College Dropout thing, that album was more than amazing, fam. Like, every song on there was a banger. Every song on there had a message. You get what I'm saying? And he was talking directly to young black people, like, directly, with no remorse, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was no shame in it. He was proud to be our Kanye them times there. You get what I'm saying? So for him, you get me, for him to make such a drastic change and go from being our Kanye to being Make America Great Again, wearing a hat and that, do you get me? I feel like the public really want to display this more than we understand. That they want us to see this, because they'll be like, oh, Kanye was a great leader for you guys, now look at him. Do you get what I'm saying? They love it. They love it. That's the thing. Like, that's why we're watching him break down, because lots of celebrities have mental breakdowns. They just don't have it live on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, who that in their right mind is going to let someone who's the leader of their team, yeah, because Kanye's obviously the leader of his team, yeah, go on camera, on the stage, knowing that they're having a mental breakdown, and let them go on there and talk all that shit? You get what I'm saying? Who's really going to let their team member do that, bro? Like, no one's going to do that, man. They want us to see this. They enjoy the fact that people are questioning his sanity, questioning his genius. You know what I'm saying? Questioning his intentions. They love it, man. They love it. Because if you can destroy a man like Kanye, you can destroy anyone who thinks they're a genius or thinks that they're influential. You know what I'm saying?
And this happens to, like, it's what happens to intelligent people, because they're in this, you know, it happens to intelligent people on a daily basis, but because obviously of his celebrity status, we just see it in the public eye. But this is the type of shit that happens every day. Do you know how many people go mad because of their intelligence and because of the things that their brain knows, and they can't work out how their brain knows these things, but they just know them. Do you get me? It's really, like, sometimes even me, I've questioned myself and thought, right, am I just having a breakdown? Am I going mad or something? Because how the fuck do I know half the shit I know? But then, because with him, because he is famous, like, he's said things, but then so have other celebrities. Do you get me? Like Kendrick Lamar says a lot. Do you get me? He's another Gemini. He said worse things than Kanye West, but because Kanye, there's a mismatch in the balance in his brain, due to the bipolar. I definitely think it's definitely bipolar. Due to that, and because of his deliverance, it's just all blown up. Do you get me? But I do think there's a lot of truth in what he's saying. He is, like, you know, we, as human beings, because things are public knowledge, or because they're in a book, or because they've been taught to us, or because they're part of Black history or whatever, we automatically think that it's correct. It might not be. Do you get me? And I think he's just calling these things out, but because of the way he's doing it, it just makes him look mad, isn't it? And it makes him sound like he's mad. But I think there's just a lot of truth, like research I've done, but then I know that I can't have certain conversations with people because human beings have been, our brains have been trained of wires to believe certain things because it's in a book is 100% truth, because it's historical fact is 100% truth. No, it's not. We don't know that it is. We're just told that it is. Do you get me? So I think, like, there's things I wanted to say, but I don't, because I know it's going to just get people's backs up and they're going to be like, yeah, you're weird for thinking that. But these are the things, I think, the things that he's talking about, and I think some of the things that he says, we do need to know about these things, because we're not everything we've been taught is actual truth. Do you get me? A lot of it is a lie. Life is a lie. life as we know it is definitely a lie. Because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be experiencing half the shit. Look at this year. This whole year's been a madness. But it's always it was evident from millions of years ago that this was going to happen. It's just that, and people are now shocked and like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why can't you believe it? It's there. It's written in history. The signs have been there subconsciously, subliminally for so long, but now it's only now you're shocked. So I just think the guy's a genius. I rate him highly.
Can I ask a question, guys? So we already know that Kanye's a genius, right? We don't, in terms of musical genius and a very talented person in terms of clothing and stuff, Yeezys and all these things I would never wear, but a lot of people wear them, right? All good and all well. Is it possible that this is all a hoax in the sense that, remember the Kardashian family, right? They make a business, making their business our business. Yeah. So, and someone said this the other day. Someone said every time Kanye comes out with these sort of rants and these sort of things, he was releases an album like a week later. So when he had his rally last week, apparently he's got an album coming out next week. So is it a case of, well, we know how to make things work in our advantage in terms of manipulating the media and so forth. Let's just, you go out there, you make a little mockery of yourself. You're going to trend on Twitter, and the following week you release an album. So is it possible that, again, like the Kardashian brand, as what it is, I'll call it family, the brand, is it possible that this is just their way of manipulating us, the consumer?
Definitely, because look what Kim did. She gave that big-ass statement, didn't she? She's an idiot. I swear I'd love to find her, just fuck her up. Because she's different, isn't it? Because that was definitely staged. And the way she come out and was talking about his bipolar, it was like, oh, I think you need to have a little bit of empathy for him. She's always done it. They know how to make money, innit? They've got no substance. There's nothing real about them. So they'll just use other people. Do you get me? And unfortunately, he's been caught up in all this bullshit. And he's that pawn. They're putting him out there like, go on, you go out there, you be a little idiot for a little 5 minutes, and then we'll just reap all the benefits at the end. Definitely, that's definitely what it is.
I agree. That's what I said earlier on.
If you think about it, yeah. As I said, if you think about it, just put yourself in that position. So whether you're famous, no, you're famous. We're all famous, right? We're all millionaires and halfway to billionaires, and our partners are in the same position in the limelight, all famous people. Now, if your partner, husband, wife, whatever it may be, is going through, which we'll assume that he's, mental health issues, because again, he might be in it on as well. But let's just say for this debate, they're going through mental health issues. Are you really going to be on Twitter saying these sort of things about your partner? Are you really going to be doing so? Are you really going to be like sitting there saying, yep, 140 characters, let me just say that my partner's bipolar and they need help? Are you really going to be doing so? Or are you going to just be getting the help that they require, making sure that they're not out in rallies talking nonsense? So that's why I asked the question: is he in on it as well? Shay, what do you think? I know you're over there with your strawberry yogurt, but I haven't seen you for a little while in your strawberry dress. So what's your views?
Boy, I think we got to remember as well, according to the sources, Kanye was sent to a mental hospital where his body was pumped with drugs as well. Do you know what I mean? So that can do something to you as well. But I don't know. I just think it's like the movie. That's what I think.
Wait, did you say like the movie Get Out? Is that what you just said? Yeah. It's funny enough, he said the same thing. He goes, the movie's about him. Apparently you're saying, yeah.
No, yeah. I always thought, I don't know. I just think it's a weird situation. I don't think it's a genuine situation. For all we know, he could have went to that mental hospital. They could have completely done something different to him. Do you know what I mean? We just don't know. And I don't know. I just love the old school Kanye, the one who did College Dropout. Obviously he's got to evolve, but I just love that album, man.
Fair enough. Ash, what are you saying?
I don't think it's a hoax. I think Kanye is really mentally ill. I think the Kardashians are using it as a promotional tool, because that's what everything they do is a promotional tool. You get me? They use their kids as promotional tools, their relationship as promotional tools. When they get cheated on, this a promotional tool. When they're cheating, it's a promotional tool. Everything they do their whole life. So I guess it's just good for them that Kanye is as famous as he is and as popular as he is and as sick as he is all at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? I think they're just utilising it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Kanye is aware. I think he's always been a bit mad. Because even if you look back on some of the things that Kanye's done over the years, he's always done a bit, things that are a bit far-fetched, you know what I'm saying? Even some of the songs he's made, because he made a song called Big Brother, I don't know if anyone's heard of it, yeah? And the whole song, he's talking about how much he loves Jay-Z, and it's just a bit, to me, the song's a bit weird, isn't it? Because I'm like, bro, you just dedicated a whole song to Jay-Z, and he never even mentioned it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's never on it, nothing, like, you made this whole song talking about how much Jay-Z's your big brother and how much you love him and how much he didn't rate you and he didn't like you and he didn't believe in you. But now, in the tune Big Brother, if you listen to it, that's what he's basically saying. He's basically saying,
my big brother was Big's brother, and Big's brother, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he's just talking how much he idolizes Jay-Z. You get me? In a song. And to me, that's a bit weird for a man to be writing a whole song about a man that, and you're saying, I know you didn't rate me at first, but now we're like brothers, even though, like, I just think it's a bit, personally,
it's a bit weird if anyone does that.
Yeah, so from that lets me know that Kanye really is a bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not making it up. He's always shown signs of him being a bit, do you know what I'm saying?
I wrote a song about you.
Oh.
Nadia, I'm gonna block
my little
you.
sis.
From the day. You gotta watch out for them people, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
The craziest people are the most intellectual. Let me tell you, Jim Carrey.
They are definitely.
Russell Brand.
Yeah, my man, Russell Brand is a G. Don't care.
I love him.
Rate him highly. Like, and it's just like those people, I just feel sorry for them because and it all boils down to like their mental health, innit? And then they got this big stigma over them. But I do definitely believe that Kanye's got mental health issues. Definitely, bless him.
He does.
Well, he spent enough time with the Kardashians, that's why.
But if you were around them, of course you're fucked. He was fucked anyway, but he's extra fucked now because he's around them.
Agree.
The thing that made me feel a bit funny was when I found out, basically, Kanye, like when he found out that his mum passed away, he was on tour at the time, and then like he must have got a phone call to say your mum's just passed away, and he literally said, let's just continue with the tour. Like, if you can do that, that is just some next thing. Like,
it's a tough one. I think
grieve, you know what I mean? I guess people grieve in their own different ways, but it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I think he hasn't been the same since his mum passed away.
Definitely not.
You know, someone I don't know who mentioned it about the guys that go to the Kardashian family. We realize that almost every man that goes over to that family, when something happens to them, like one man will change gender. Do you know what I mean? It's all mad.
I knew that was coming.
Like, clearly, you should just leave it alone. As Lethal Bizzle would say, Lethal Bizzle would always say, he says, leave it, yeah, leave it.
Like, you take responsibility as well. Like, if you're going to a place and you know what it's about, then you got to take responsibility for that as well, because you know where it could lead.
Trust me, if I didn't any of them Kardashians, they ain't get me no Kardashian show. They're about keep up with the Kardashians? They'd be sticky fingers. We want you on the show. You on what show? Are you crazy? You're mine. No stop.
What's the point of being with them if you're not going to be on the show?
Nah.
Sticky wants a peaceful life.
Yeah, nah. I'm not on. Nah.
It's like you're just basically just selling your soul, innit? Like from when you go to that family, you're selling your soul, and it's just dead.
Illuminati shit.
Yeah, see, Bruce wanted to be part of them so badly. He's like, listen, you lot ain't leaving me behind. Yeah. I'm turning into one of you lot. Yeah.
And with him, can I just say, like, do you get me? It's nothing to do with the fact that if he's transgender, yeah? It's not to do with that, because people, you know, make the decision to think, or it's something that's in certain people. So it's not even that. It's just that it's that desperation to be so wanted and that need for validation that he had to go to those lengths. Because I know, yeah, like I know I've got transgender friends, you get me, and I've got people that I know of and stuff. And
you sound like them people that say I got black friends, Chip. That's what you sound like right now.
No, but it's true. No, but
I'm not prejudiced. I got a transgender friend.
No, but I don't want to put that out there. I don't want my point to be, I don't want people to think that I've got anything against transgender people, because I haven't. Because if you are who you are, you can't help it. But I know for a fact, yeah, without even knowing the guy, he is not happy. There is no way he wanted to be, he's not transgender, do you get me? I'm not falling for it.
Bro, his wife was going to leave him, yeah? His wife was cheating on him every week.
He said he wanted to change back on there into a man.
Huh?
He wanted to change back into a man again. Yeah? He said he wanted to change back into a man again.
See it right
at one
there?
point.
See it there?
There's no way. There's no way.
Wipe that
Because you
shit
wouldn't.
off, bro. He's still a man, cuz what are you talking about? Do you think he looks like a woman? Anyone think he looks like a woman in here?
No, he got all our money and he looks like that. Listen, for the money that he got,
That man could never look like a woman, bro. Never.
Exactly. For all the money that he got, like there's people out there who are trans, yeah, and you won't know they're trans, or because that's who they are. He's not living his truth. Definitely not living his truth.
Did you not hear about it all? I'll tell you what I hate, right? I'm going to go slightly left, right? I hate that he got Woman of the Year.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah? But here, check this. They said Serena Williams was too manly.
Oh,
yeah, gunshot for that, man. Gunshot for that.
They actually said
Serena, a real black woman be too manly.
Serena Williams is too manly, but Bruce Jenner got Woman of the Year.
Serena's a fucking queen, mate. She's the fucking
celebrity culture bullshit.
I'll show you. You're breaking up, man. Your dodgy reception. Your dodgy internet connection.
That's a violation, fam. I'm not gonna lie. That's a fucking violation.
It is a violation. They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose. It's just another stunt. It's another
just a mockery.
Just to piss people off, isn't it?
It is.
They knew what he was going to do. Look at how everybody was up in arms when they said that, because they knew exactly what they were doing and creating. This is why I don't entertain anything celebrity status.
These people do what
I'm
they do.
famous in my fucking house at the end of the day. My name, Chizzy fucking Jarvis.
Hey, Job.
I think we need more of these celebrity stuff, you know. Shit, I think next week you need to make sure you bring some more celebrity gossip because everyone's blood pressure right now rising, boy. Chili's all puffing away hard on that thing, but she's puffing hard.
I fucking hate all that.
Wait, in fact, shit, I got a bone to pick with you. Shit, how are you like supposed to be sending all the celebrity gossip, Brian? You're talking about Kanye, but you didn't bring Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion in the conversation. What's going on? Slipping.
That's a bit too ghetto. It's a bit too ghetto. You get me?
Oh yeah, she a small island, isn't it? I know. Yeah, for real. She's probably too prim and proper in it. I know. Yeah.
She's you get me? Kanye Kardashian vibe. She didn't do it Tory Lanez.
Yes.
You get me?
You don't know me. So watch your mouth.
Oh,
You done know.
She's a savage. Hey.
Tell him, shit.
Wow,
One of us are going to come and shoot you in your foot now, guys.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly. You know, shout out to Mayday in the chat. He says, "Allow the gossip." LOL. Now, just so you know, Mayday's my best friend, right? He left my house about half an hour ago, and he's really home. You know, don't wave at him, Nadia. Don't wave to him, please. Don't do that. We like the gossip stuff.
You do. You're a tourist. Tourists love gossip. I ain't got fucking time.
Yeah, but hang on. Wait, hang on. You're a Gemini. You can't talk. Donald Trump's a Gemini, okay? Leave it there. End of. Leave it. Yeah, leave it.
He's a Gemini man. I'm a Gemini woman. I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump.
There's a big difference.
Oh, big difference. Big difference. Big difference.
Saying that, right? Say that, Chili, right? You know, I said you're waving at Mayday. He's a Gemini too, isn't it? Can you believe it?
Now,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
him. I don't like Gemini men, so fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Guys, we've got half an hour left.
Let's do
Next topic.
self-love.
Self-love. Now, who's kicking that one off?
Go on, Chids.
I reckon
Go
I
on,
should do that. I'm
Chids.
not even gonna lie, I'm gonna gas myself up. So self-love, let me tell you about self-love, yeah. So when people hear about self-love, they just automatically think, yeah, you know, it's about liking your appearance, it's about you know, loving yourself for your features, don't thinking you're better than anyone else, whatever. For me, yeah, self-love is not, I've been on a journey of self-love, yeah, and I've delved really deep into it. It's not about your appearance, because your appearance, you can always fix it. Your appearance, you can always alter it. You can do whatever the fuck you like with your appearance. When it comes to self-love for me is loving myself, respecting my space, respecting my peace. Like, do you know, anything that brings noise into my world or unnecessary fuckery, we'll just be real with it, innit? Like, I'm not about it, because it affects my nervous system, it affects how I act, it affects how I eat, it affects how I sleep. So I love myself in that way. I love myself to the point where I will not let anybody affect my energy. I went for years allowing the energy and the low vibration of other people like affect who I am and what I do and how I do things in life. But I got to a point in my self-love journey where that shit can't run no more. Do you get me? It can't happen. Self-love for me is speaking words of affirmation to myself, to the ones that I love, to the ones that I know are going to take that information and actually, you know, listen to it. Self-love for me is not giving my energy to people who don't deserve it. Because you know what? Sometimes, like I found myself in a situation like over the past couple of weeks that, you know, a lot of people ask me for advice, or they'll ask me for this, that, and the other. And you can repeat yourself over and over again. You can tell the same thing. And with me, when I speak to people, I speak words of truth, and it comes from my heart. I'm not going to tell them anything that's going to be detrimental to themselves. I'm not telling them to take my words as gospel. But when you can see a situation for what it is, yeah, like, because I look deep into things, innit? When I know it's about helping other people or whatever, I'll look deep into it. I'll do my research on certain things, and I will give you the best advice that I can. But you know, when you're not taking that advice, or it's like I'm just saying things for fun, then that's detrimental to my inner peace, innit? So I'm just gonna totally just end up disregarding you and say, well, I told you, you're not listening. You're gonna end up in the same situation anyway, so fuck you, really, innit? So self-love for me is actually looking after myself as a person. People are mistaken as like, and they'll look at me and they're like, yeah, I'll openly say I love myself, innit? But when I say I love myself, I mean in the sense of I know my worth, I know what I deserve when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, when it comes to any kind of thing, person, work, anything, yeah? I am not taking anything that I feel, and this is not an ego thing, it's that anything that I feel is not worth my time or my energy, or is vibrating lower than needs to be, can't come into my little hemisphere. It's not coming in. People will look at you, yeah, and they will envy you and hate you because of the self-love that you have towards yourself. Because I'm not letting you fuck up my mind or my little world, or get into my head and infect me with your own insecurities, yeah, then what? I'm a bad person? No, I think I'm loving myself. I think I'm respecting myself. But people, what I've noticed, especially like this generation and the times that we're living in, people will be jealous of you for the most ridiculous reasons, just because you might be doing something, and because they don't understand what you're doing, they'll just hate on you automatically. And friends, people who call themselves friends, family will do it as well. they will chat you behind your back. Do you get me? To people and think that. But when you're on a journey of self-love, you become more aware. So you develop a high sense of awareness. So you already know, like all of you, like take a little minute and think about a person. Yeah, everyone's got that person or somebody they know, people in their lives where you think, yeah, they're my friend, yeah, but I know they've chatted me. I know they've got bad mind towards me. Do you get me? Take yourself away from that person. Don't keep them around you any longer, because when you keep low vibrational people around you and they infect your energy, so they stunt in your growth, they stunt in your elevation. You're only gonna elevate so high because you're allowing other people to infect you. So self-love for me is about loving myself enough to not let anybody come in and fuck up my vibe. Bam.
Chitty, absolutely love that, right?
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, if you want to hear more stuff like that from Chitty, on Instagram, it is Breathe It All In, Love It All Out. So make sure you check that out on Insta. I'll say it again, Breathe It All In, Love It All Out, and you'll see more inspirational posts out there as well, right? As we cover his messages quickly, 33_God says, your star player, Cat Williams' voice. Life.purpose.journey says 100%. 33_God says, you need those haters. Life.purpose.journey says word. And 33_God says, they push you. I love when they have that stale face hate on me. I will thrive on it. Share. What are you saying?
Free, you know I love you, my nigga. No, I love you, dog.
Can I just say I love what Chitty said? It just literally summed up everything, you know, it's speaking life right there. But yeah, self-love, you know, I'm the kind of person who, you know, there has been times where I thought to myself that self-love was something which I can give to other people, or, you know, people can give to me. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It's something which comes from within, and, you know, it's something which allows you to be who you truly are and to deeply connect with yourself. Like, it's such a deep one, but, you know, just like not allowing people into your life who try and, you know, just like remove certain energy from you. Do you know what I mean? So if you've got good energy, they try and tarnish your energy constantly. And, you know, just really knowing who you are, knowing yourself. And it's not saying for yourself to be perfect in any way, but to know who you are and to love who you are inside and out. And, you know, it's so easy to get caught up in being in a place where you really don't feel like you can love yourself fully. It's so easy to do that. But at the same time, you know, I feel like the biggest challenge is loving yourself. You know, you can nail what you want to get from life. You can nail, you know, where you want to live, what partner you want, that kind of stuff. So I just feel like a lot of people don't know how to love themselves fully, and a lot of people do. Now, the people who don't know how to love themselves fully will try and take it away from the people who know how to love themselves. And it's just so important to take care of yourself and know that, you know, you can conquer anything in life when you put your mind to it, and when you actually realize that self-love is a journey. It's not just a destination, it's a whole journey throughout your life where, you know, you will go through different types of shit, excuse my French, but at the end of the day, you know, through it all, loving yourself is the most important thing. But yeah, that's my take on that.
I don't give a fuck about my French, yeah. I will say what I got to say because, yeah, it's like, if you don't love yourself, imagine if self-love was not a thing, yeah. Imagine how your life would be. Imagine the people that you would be around. Imagine the people that you would attract. If you don't love yourself, yeah, and you're vibrating at a certain frequency, you're going to attract people who are on the same frequency. When you love yourself at a higher level, you're still going to attract those low vibing motherfuckers, yeah, and they're the ones, they're gonna root you out because they see you in it. They're like, shit, oh my god, this person's on a journey. Let me just go. And like they'll try to imitate you, they'll try to suck energy out of you, they'll do all these low vibing things, yeah. But what people fail to realize is that at the end of the day, you're left with yourself. So when you're living this fake existence and you're trying to draw people out and you're trying to suck the life out of people and you're living a lie, yeah, and everyone's congratulating you because you're living a lie. Do you know when it's quiet at night and everyone else is sleeping and you're wide awake and you're living with your own thoughts and your own demons, you're fucked, innit? Because self-love does not reside where you are. If self-love resides within you, then you're at peace. You are at peace even if you're not sleeping. You're still rested because you know you're at peace with yourself and your heart's clean and your mind's clear. When you're low vibing, you're sitting there, you're plotting, you're thinking, who can I imitate tomorrow? Who can I be today? If you know yourself, you don't have to think about who you're being, and people will hate you for this. They will hate you.
Word, yo. I was gonna say, yeah, the best thing about self-love or discovering self-love or practicing self-love, it shows you who loves you. You get me? It allows you to see with your eyes who really loves you. Yeah, because if people don't treat you how you treat you, or people don't want for you what you want for you, then that means they don't fucking love you, bro. And once you know that, you don't have to make an excuse for them no more. Do you get me? That's the best thing that I found about me gaining self-love. I never used to have self-love. I used to have self-worth. I used to think I was worthy of love. Yeah, and I used to try to project love, but I never had self-love. Yeah. Now I love myself more than I love anybody. Yeah. And I mean that. I mean that. So, like, how selfish it sounds, that's how selfish I mean it. Like, I love me more than anybody. Yeah. And what I clock, now I love me more than anybody. I clock bare man don't love man, bro. Bare people don't love man. They love what man represents in their life or for them, but they don't love man. They don't want to see man grow past them. They don't want to see man stronger. They don't want to see man happy. They don't want to see man successful. They only want to see man as with their limitations on man. So they only want to see man as good as they think I am. Or you're not that important. Why do you think you can earn it? Because people think that their image of you is what your image of you is. No. I see me bigger than the fucking universe. I see me as the universe, bro. You see me as your virgin, don't nigga from the lane, or you get me? Like even one of my friends when he said, "Oh, I see you doing your little thing," you get me? Great, that's facts, bro. To you, it's a little thing, but you see, for me, I'm not nothing small. I don't minimize myself. You can minimize me in your world. That's fine, because I'm not even really in your world. My world is for me and me only. If you want to come and join me for a little short space of time and experience what man's experiencing, cool, you can do that. But there's no us. There's no us in this thing. I'm done with the us thing. I'm done with the we thing. Because what I clocked is no one don't give a fuck about you when it's us. Yeah, when it's we, no one don't care about you. They only care about we. So they only care about how you affect us or how you affect we. I'm telling you, yeah. Self-love is the only love that counts, bro. If you ain't got no self-love, that girl you're with is gonna mock you. If you ain't got no self-love, your kids are gonna disrespect you. If you ain't got no self-love, your friends are gonna run all over you. If you ain't got no self-love, no one's gonna treat you how you're supposed to be treated, fam. And that's facts. No one can't diss me. You can run your mouth, you can shout your mouth, you can threaten this, but you see me, you just know me physically, you're not gonna do nothing, you're not gonna cross the line with me, you're not gonna violate me. Why? Because I don't accept that. I'm not gonna let someone do that to me, like I don't love me more than I love you. You're crazy, fam. Crazy. If you don't respect, man, you don't love me how I love me, you can't fuck with me. You can't even chat to me, bro. If you don't love me how I love me, you don't respect me how I respect me, go somewhere else with it, man. That's it. And that's what self-love is about. You can't protect yourself, you can't protect your energy, you can't protect your family, you can't protect your picnic unless you love yourself. You get me? Because people will put themselves above you anytime it counts, anytime they're able to. they're going to make sure that they feel more important than you. Whether your picnic's there, whether your mum's there, whether your grandma's there, it don't matter. People are still going to make themselves feel like they're more important than you. So love yourself more than you love anyone else. Put yourself first all the time. Not
Fucking hell. You said that better than I could have said it. You said that.
You see me. You see me. Only love people that love you, fam. Yeah? And love is honest. Love is real, fam. You get what I'm saying?
He's started. He's on a roll.
Yeah, I know.
I'm done.
Let me read some of his messages quickly. 33 God says, big. Life.purpose.journey says, word, cuz. 33 God also says, true, too much. Blow their minds. Kelly_Goldilocks says, only family, self-love. And 33 God says, big, true. Nadia, what are you saying on this one?
Guys, you just took it away. I've got nothing else to say. No, spot on, guy. Exactly what you were saying. I think unless you love yourself first, you're not going to be successful in a relationship with anybody. You need to be in a relationship with yourself and love yourself before anything else, because it's never going to work. So everything that you all just said is, I completely agree with. Going back, I think from my own experience, it took me a long time to love myself. So being a singer, I did have a lot of people sort of putting me down in the beginning. Even though I knew I was a good singer, I knew there was room left to grow. And I took things quite personally. I took people's opinions and comments quite personally. And it cut me deep, to be honest. And it knocked my confidence. I still carried on singing, but I just maybe had a little bit of self-doubt. So I think it took time for me to grow and to love myself. And I think now I'm at the age that I am, 21. I can confidently say that I love myself. And, I know I'm a good singer. I know I'm a good parent. I know, that I'm good at a lot of things. So the world is my oyster.
Wait. Did you, first of all, did you say you're 21?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. One thing, exactly, facts. One of the things I liked is what Cher said, actually. Cher said, self-love is a journey, not a destination.
It is, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. So Cher, talking about self-love and loving one another, yeah? In fact, we won't go there just yet. We'll leave it till later, until after the live, okay? Just DM me, okay? We'll talk about it later.
I knew you was gonna take it there.
No.
Take it there. Stick it
You're
there.
a brave one. I'll give you that. You're brave.
That's what happens. You got self-love, man.
Exactly. Tell him again, Rubai. Tell him again.
Baby,
No fear,
you should
no
go
fear.
and love yourself.
Yeah, you just can't.
Just for the record, I love you all, guys, as much as I love myself.
I would say that, but that would be a goddamn lie. I love myself more.
All I will say is,
I love your honesty.
Myself, I can love other people.
No, but
and
but my thing is, I only deal with people I love. I don't deal with people I hate. I don't deal with people I like. I don't deal with people I dislike. If I hate you, like you, or dislike you, you don't chat to me, bro. That's the facts. I don't chat to people I like, dislike, or hate. I only talk to people I love. If I don't love you, you don't talk to me personally. That's facts, bro.
But people mistaken though. They get mistaken and they think that they know you. They think that they're in your world. They think that they...
No, but I mean, if I don't talk to you, if we don't talk, and I'm not talking about chatting shit, I'm talking about having conversations. We don't converse. Me and you don't converse. It's because I either like you, dislike you, or hate you, bro. That's why. If I love you, babe, we will talk, fam. If I love you, we will talk. And my love transcends, bro. So I'm never fake with it. I just don't deal with people I don't love. That's it. You get what I'm saying?
And that's what it's about. You can't deal with people that you don't love. I cut my energy from so many people because I'm a person. I'm naturally a lover, innit? And I try to give love, and my love transcends the same way. But people get confused, innit? They take it for I it's just part of my sole purpose, just to give a message.
Sticky.
please don't mistake it for, because like, please don't mistake it for the fact that I love you, because I'm never going to tell you I love you, innit? Those words have never come from my mouth. If you think I love you, then that's you've told yourself that. That's something you just made up in your own head. You get me? Because when I'm ready to cuss you now and tell you and call you out on your bullshit and tell you all about yourself, and then you're like, I thought you loved me. Yeah, you thought being the key word. That's what you made up in your mind. I've never told you that I love you. You don't know where I live. You haven't got my number. We don't converse like that. Fuck off, innit? Straight up and down. Fuck off.
Chid, going back to what you said earlier, you know, with people bringing that negativity into your life, you know, I think they're not your real friends.
Yeah.
No, wait, let me read some of these messages. Hold on. 33_God says, people might take that as cold, but it's self-love. I think I'm back to what Ashley was saying before about him not speaking to people he doesn't like or dislike or love.
Read that one again. I missed
They
that.
said, people might take that as cold, but it's self-love. So you know when you were talking about, you only talk to people you love, you don't talk to people you like, or dislike, or what have you. I think that's when that message came up. So they're saying that people might take that as cold, but it's self-love. Mayday Carter says, love is the opposite of fear. True. And 33God says, don't allow these energy vampires access.
That's it, energy vampires, and there's millions of
Love that.
millions, and it's always those people who feel insecure about themselves, or they're not stable where they're at, or they see you elevating, and they're like, yeah, I want that. They allow their little ego to just come in, and they're like, yeah, I want that. And then when you start like, you're not giving me attention, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Fuck off. Was I born to help you? Fuck off. Straight up and down.
Well, damn.
Sorry.
Clearly, Chili's very, very passionate about this one. And for those of you who didn't realise, Cher was coughing earlier. She's like coughing and going sticky, but I'm not sure what's wrong with her. Clearly, she's not very well, okay? And for those of you who might be tuning in, right, if you don't know, Cher is from small islands, isn't it? So they don't have medicines and things like that, you know, normal things that we're used to, internet connections, mobile phones, all those sort of things. So it's like a third world country. I'm just putting it out there, okay? Just that's all.
When's your haircut coming?
Well, I don't need a haircut. We mean haircut, blood. It's all natural. What did Inyari say? I am not my hair. I am not my hair. See right now?
When is your haircut coming?
I got my afro comb. We're all good. We're all good.
And in response to Sticky, I would trust one of my nan's little mixtures more than I would trust these pharmaceutical companies any day. So as for small island people don't know about medicine, it's a good thing, really, isn't it?
You know, it's funny. It's funny you should say that, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't even lie to you. My grandma, right? When she was alive, she used to have this thing. She used to call it. It used to be bay rum with pimento seeds. Oh, mate, if you had a cold, right? She'll get the bay rum, put it on her hand, and then slap it on your forehead. Yeah. What? Cowpo? What cowpo? Bay rum with pimento seeds. I'm telling you, man.
And the shit worked, though. The shit worked, though. Go straight to sleep, you wake up feeling well, boy.
I got the goods. I've got the rum and the pimento.
Yeah. 100%.
I love it.
My grandmother dashed bare things in my face, and I always felt well afterwards. So
it's nothing that a bottle bath can't cure. You get me?
Savlon. What was that other Alcalado? Dashed in your face. Remember the
Savlon, yeah.
Dashed in your face one time. Breathe. Just chuck it in your face. Then you're fine. Cold's gone.
Yeah, man.
Guys, you know what? It's been 2 hours already. You know, the Insta's actually stopped.
I'm tired, bro. Look at my face.
Same.
The Insta actually stopped. It's been 2 hours already. Can you believe it?
Stayed the full duration.
That was another powerful one. I really enjoyed that, especially the self-love one. Been trying to get that.
Yeah, love that one.
Do you know what I think we should do? Honestly, I think we should have like the powerful stuff, but have something in between just to make everyone laugh still. So, like as I said about the celebrity stuff, again, it's as long as you know, it's a bit of balance in it. Yeah, a bit of balance. Hold on, I'm gonna restart the live again. Now, give me a second. Yeah, a bit of balance.
I'm gonna love you and leave you guys because I've got to go and do this games and stuff.
Okay.
I'm the entertainer, obviously.
Some part-timer.
I've got to entertain 20 plus women tomorrow. Stick.
But, good
You
luck
would
with
love
that.
it. You would love it.
Tell me about them.
I've got to melt some chocolate into nappies to make it look like poo, and
Oh,
fill some baby bottles with some rum and ting
wow.
and pimento seeds.
The thing was, when you started the sentence, you started sort of saying, I need to melt some chocolate, right? I was like, oh, okay, now we're talking. And then you said into poo. I was like, no, it's gone completely the wrong way. It wasn't what I was
So
thinking.
I've got to put these in the nappy, and they've got to guess what it is.
Yeah, but as I said, when you started the sentence by saying, I need to melt some chocolate, I was like, okay, we're onto something here. We go places with this. And then...
Got strawberries and everything.
Exactly. But then you went with poo, so it's gone downhill
Sorry.
now.
Just killed the vibe, didn't I?
It did.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
What are you doing?
Kendrick already told you, bitch, don't kill my vibe, innit? So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Look at
so I think it's probably best that we wrap it up. I think the live has restarted, but again, it's only been 2 whole hours.
Yeah.
It actually flew by today.
It did.
And we're back next week Friday. I keep saying Saturday, next week Friday. Hopefully with some gossip. Hopefully Cher's going to do her job properly and get some gossip going.
I know. Shares about the celebrity life. Share, you need to come with that celebrity gossip.
I don't really know any. I just see.
I tell you
whatever.
what I think would be a good topic of discussion that's really relevant at the moment is the whole child trafficking and the celebrities that were involved in the child trafficking industry. Or
Yeah, we need to talk about like Hillary Clinton.
Definitely. Did you not see the Golden Globe thing with Ricky Gervais?
Yes.
He was talking that shit.
Yeah.
He's a
bruh.
G.
Yeah. I love him.
He put
Love
them under
him.
pressure, fam.
But has it been confirmed? Has anyone been found guilty, or is it all still speculation?
Yeah, what do you mean that? What's that woman called? I don't even know her name. Ghislaine or something. She's definitely got in jail, bro.
Yeah.
Epstein.
Didn't she wrap the phone in foil or something so they
Epstein
couldn't find us?
apparently killed himself so he wouldn't go to jail. But obviously, them
Yeah, but
But supposedly,
is he dead?
Jeffrey is alive.
Yeah. He course is, bro.
Yeah, there was pictures,
My brother got a
Money
whole
is
island.
power.
Get you, like, who cares, bro? He's not coming back to England or America or nothing like that.
You know when I
Apparently it was
said,
his brother. It was his brother, though, not Jeffrey.
you know when I said celebrity stuff, I meant like hearted celebrity stuff,
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
there's
this-
nothing like,
No,
That's
oh,
what.
like Tory Lane shot Megan in the foot.
yeah,
But
exactly,
like,
that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's like hard because it's speculation. We don't even know. Well, it's speculation. We don't know if it was him or not him. Like what happened. I know she was. Yeah, we don't know. Apparently, this is what I heard. Right? I heard this today that they were at a party with one of the Jenners. Is it Kylie Jenner? So they're at a party. They're in a pool with her, and apparently that him and her were getting a bit too close, and then this that, and the other. Madness, isn't it? I told you, them Kardashians and Jenners, boy. Stay away. Stay, not me. Share, you and I, we can do a thing, but being Jenners, no.
What?
You're deaf? What happened to you?
Never.
You get me? He's making sure he's putting that out there. He's saying, yo.
You know, like yard man.
I'm filming thing that. Yeah, stick and do your thing now.
Well, actually, Cher, I've got a British passport, okay? I was born in St. Thomas's Hospital in
Doesn't matter.
Westminster,
Doesn't matter.
okay?
Oh, you're the St. Thomas now. King's College all the way. Sorry, love. We're born in King's College Hospital. Sorry, we don't do
King's College.
That's St. Thomas is like a side hospital, isn't it? It's like a side thing.
You're born in the same hospital.
Yeah. Only
That's
real
mad.
G's are born in King's College. Only real G's are born in King's College.
Come on, I think that I was, and I live in Cardiff, and I was born in King's College.
Gang shit.
We said hospitals are that bad in Cardiff. Like your mum will forget this. I'm driving 2 hours down.
When I go in
Yo, people, I'm so tired though. Look, my phone's dropping. I can't manage. I need to go.
Okay, love each and every bloody time.
Love you all as much as I love myself.
I'm not gonna say that for the sake of it still, but I do love you guys though.
Love you guys. Love.
God bless.
Cher, hit me on my 2-way afterwards, okay?
I said love except for Sticky.
No way. I don't care what you say, it's what you do, innit? Show me the love, innit? You got to show me love.
That was poetry. Man, gotta give that a couple clicks. Still, that was good one, Sticks.
What are you guys clapping and clicking about?
Sticky got a, I love the new Sticky. Sticky's just killing it lately. He's killing it.
Don't
You got bars,
entertain
Sticks.
him.
You got bars, B.
Damn right, mate. Damn right. Seriously, guys. Look, I hope you all have a good weekend. Actually, quick question. Oh yeah, but Nadia's gone. She ducked out.
She just ducked out. She said, "Fuck you, lot. I love myself too much."
Exactly. Guys, I got a random question. Yeah, I know the live's finished. Well, I missed up the live actually. Random question while Shitty's getting sorted, right? Quick question. I got a show tomorrow, and the topic is it's Missy versus Mary J. Blige. Who would your money be on? Missy or Mary?
Missy.
Mary, though.
But I love Mary. I love Mary, but Missy.
But they're so different. But at the same time, like, it's Mary, though, isn't it? 100%. I love Missy and Mary. Yeah.
They're so different. Why would you put them together?
Yeah.
You know what? To tell you the truth, that's a good question. So I was listening to Mary and I was thinking, wow, who can I put against Mary? Like, who would be good? And the only person I could think of was Brandy. I thought she might have been a good one, but I used Brandy recently, so I was like, I don't need to do it again. And I thought, I can't really think of anyone that's on Mary's level. I think it may be Whitney, and I thought again, I don't know. I thought, so you know what, let me just go with someone else that's really good. And I think Missy's really good. I think Missy's heady.
I think they're going to do a versus, though. I think they're actually going to do a versus, no?
Who, Mary and Missy?
Yeah, someone and Missy.
It can't be Mary. It won't be Mary. It'll probably be like Busta Rhymes or something.
It's a woman, isn't it? It's a woman. Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, but like if you think Mary, Busta and Missy are quite
very
similar.
Very similar.
Yeah, they
and
are.
their music videos are very similar. Everything about them is very similar still. I can definitely say that.
Do you not watch the Snoop versus DMX?
I did. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it a lot still.
I've seen a little clip.
I think DMX won, though. I didn't realize how fucking cold DMX is, bro. DMX got nothing but bangers, bro. Nothing but bangers, bro. And DMX comes hard every time. His verses are crazy. Them man, they spit verses that make you feel like he's singing a chorus, man. You want to, like, every word of his verses are just crazy, man.
To be fair, I didn't watch all. I watched a little bit of it. I wasn't impressed. I was like, oh, I like DMX. I think DMX is sick. And I was just like, I wasn't that impressed. I was like,
by their performances. Forget the
I was like,
because they weren't there to perform. They're there to showcase their music.
Yeah, but after I watched Beanie and Bounty Killer, it's like you need to be at that level.
The Yardies, though, man. Come on, man. You can't ever. No one has done it like.
You're just a typical Yardie. That's why.
Hold on, let me do a translation for Cher in it. So Cher, when Ashley says Yardie, I know obviously you're from the small islands. He's talking about people from Jamaica.
God give me
He's
strength.
fucking mocking the whole thing, you know. Sticking your teeth, you know.
All right, my loved ones, I'm cutting though, man.
Guys, have a good weekend.
Love you guys.
Oh, yeah, selfie. No, selfie.
Ashley looks mad, fam.
Can we do it again?
Do it again. Yeah.
Gang.
Oh, we didn't get Nadia in there.
I'm more for it. Don't watch that. I thought we shot it in. Rago.
Oh, no, but we get a recording, innit? But that's in the recording of will be on there.
Yeah, the screenshot and just put it in.
Yeah, there you go.
Nope.
All right, guys, have a good one, all right? Catch up with you soon.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.